All right, so there's been a lot of talk about the need for regulatory clarity in regards to cryptocurrency, digital asset, as really being the catalyst for the next rapid growth cycle within this space. Now, we've talked about it on this channel. We've indicated that countries like Switzerland and Malta and others have really been pushing ahead with clear, supportive regulatory environments or regulatory frameworks that are really supporting the growth of blockchain based technology and digital assets. As we know and we've talked about, the US really seems to be fumbling everything so far. There was the Token Taxonomy Act on the table. Nothing's happened with that. And really, at this point, the US has been slipping further and further and further behind. Now, there's one country out there that might just make all the difference in the world, and that's what we want to talk about today. Hey, this is Jeff with the HODL Report. Join me on today's video as we talk about Bermuda as paving the way to regulatory clarity regionally as well as potentially globally, and it's all right here on the chain. On the chain. Here. All right, awesome. So check this out. So I pulled up a couple articles. Now this one, and this is going to hit, right to the spot. I love this. This is amazing. This was on the Royal Gazette. And as we go through this article, I couldn't help but just highlight the entire thing. And then I pulled up their press release and I looked through their press release. I'm like, oh my God, I could highlight. We need to read this whole article because it's just filled with so much great stuff. And then we look through all these tabs. You're going to see partners. It's crazy. But check this out. Bermuda gears up for digital currency payments. I mean, this is everything. So the basis of this is that they're setting up an opportunity right now to use digital currency to pay government taxes, to pay for services and fees within Bermuda. And they're talking about beginning of the year. So it's the start of the new year. Now, this is a big announcement from David Burt, from whoever he is within government. But the statement here is, government is committed to accept digital currency payments, providing they are one-to-one US dollar-backed digital currencies that are licensed by the Bermuda Monetary Authority. Okay. All right. So there's a catch. It has to be based on a stable coin, and it has to be one-to-one backed by the US dollar. But now this is definitely an interesting step forward because they're really incorporating digital asset in this space. Now, as we go through all of this, you're going to sit back and say, wow, you know what? There's other solutions out there, and we're wondering why they didn't approach Ripple or try to find a solution to really start building a framework or somehow incorporating the XRP ledger or somehow incorporating RippleNet into what they're doing from a cross-border payment perspective to move money, not just see money moved within Bermuda, but to find a solution to go without or send money into Bermuda. So maybe all that's in discussion at some point. I don't know. That wasn't here in this article. We could do some research and see if there's some banks that might be involved externally that will be using the RippleNet solution for cross-border payment. But this is still extremely, extremely exciting just on its face to see what's going on here. So what we're looking at here, Bermuda will be an example to other jurisdictions on how to adopt and benefit from the advancement of technology around digital assets. We see so many countries right now that I don't know if you want to call them developing. They're definitely not third world. They're definitely not first world in terms of economy. So maybe they're still in a developmental phase. But what we're seeing is that they're gravitating towards a new technology, a freedom, a methodology for financial freedom to put a footprint, to put their footprint really on the global economy. Whereas before, they might be, on the bottom of the list someplace and can have almost no influence. But here we have Bermuda, which really does have an amazing history, within the financial space. And here's a statement from them. We are leveraging our position as a jurisdiction with a history of expertise in regulating financial services and our bespoke regulatory framework around digital assets to provide an environment to drive and showcase financial innovation. That is such a big statement. We don't see anything like that coming from the U.S. We see things like this coming from Switzerland when they're creating this, again, an environment, a friendly environment to blockchain, a friendly environment to digital asset. But this is a lesson. This is the sandbox. This is the sandbox, and it's a real life sandbox that's going to be used practically in real world utility, which in the sandbox environment can then be shown as a showcase to others regionally and all over the world. And this is why it's so exciting. And we're seeing more and more of this, just like we talked about on the last video regarding what's going on in Singapore with shipping, what's going on in Italy regarding banking. And here we have it. Look at this statement: an opportunity to increase access to and lower the cost of financial services. They get it. They understand. Now, the Premier of Bermuda is talking and really, putting out some really amazing statements. And when we go to the press release, a lot of these are in there. This article pulled out all the key points, but we're going to go into the press release. Then we're going to look at some of the partners that they brought on board, even though they're in the article and you can probably see them. We're going to look at each one of them. But look at this statement. Our combined hope is to showcase to the world that there's a clear path providing regulatory clarity around this industry by focusing on the risk and using Bermuda's small contained ecosystem. Look at this statement. Using Bermuda's small contained ecosystem as a place where foreign regulators and legislators can come to touch, see, and use and ultimately understand the benefits of this revolutionary technology. They get it. They get it. They understand what digital asset and what blockchain technology means to the furtherance of economies, the development of small economies. And here we're talking about, again, a small contained ecosystem in Bermuda. If it works there, that's the showcase. It's successful. He gets it. The Premier of Bermuda understands it. Here he adds, we welcome any and all companies who are serious about developing the future of open financing to come to Bermuda and work with us to turn Bermuda into a global innovation sandbox and showcase to the world the potential of this exciting new technology. So what I'm thinking here is that what Northern California, San Francisco area was during the high-tech boom, all these smaller countries are going to be and are becoming during the blockchain boom. And it's leaving everybody else behind. So the fact that the U.S. is dragging their feet and tripping over themselves with the anticipation that when they finally do have regulatory clarity, everyone's going to come flocking to the U.S. But that couldn't be further from the truth when you have countries like Bermuda and Switzerland and Malta and all these others that are opening up their framework today, and companies are flocking there. That one statement when they brought Facebook in front of Congress and they said, why Switzerland? Why the heck not Switzerland when Switzerland is embracing and giving them a framework that's friendly and a clear understanding of regulation, for Facebook to move Libra over to Switzerland, not in the U.S. And it's amazing right now that despite all of the chaos that goes on, that you're seeing technology still building up and developing within the U.S., which we would expect it to. But here you have, within Bermuda, a change, the sandbox, again, from what he was saying, to allow countries and government officials to come and touch and feel what's happening. And here, here's that statement again. We're leveraging our position as a jurisdiction with a history of expertise in regulating financial services it's so amazing. I mean, when I see this, I'm so excited about it. I can't tell you. And again, this is coming from within Bermuda, these small little countries that are having such a huge impact on what's going to happen within the digital asset space. And again, regulators and legislators around the world have been called to action by the development of cryptocurrencies and the announcement of Facebook's Libra Association. Yes, that is 100% accurate. What Facebook did when they launched or they acknowledged the launching of Libra, and it put the entire world on notice, and they dragged Facebook in front of Congress. They're going to drag them in front of Congress again, but it told the world that you can't sit idle as technology is developing. Companies are developing this technology within this new economy, and the governments are going to fall into irrelevance if they don't create a framework of clarity around it. And so it's so important to see what's happening. But look at it. There's been considerable global debate as to the right path forward and whether new currencies like Bitcoin, Libra, as a basket of fiat currencies or central bank digital currencies are the answer. This was a big statement over here. Regulators and central banks around the world have been weighing in with their views, and it goes over what the Bank of England said, what the German central bank suggested, what China's rumored to be doing, recently what the IMF is talking about doing. Obviously, there are many views and a lot of talk, but little action. Look at this. But for Bermuda, the risks of launching our own digital currency outweigh the opportunities. So they have to launch and tie up and do what they want to do. So they're understanding that there's experts that have already developed the technology that they can incorporate into their own system. They don't want to have to develop their own from scratch. It already exists out there. No action. Look at this. There are many views and a lot of talk, but little action. Just no Token Taxonomy Act. And lots of views out there, and yet they just want to go along and get along, and who knows, But look at this. I love these statements right here. That's why I highlighted them in blue. Man, I could have highlighted the whole thing, but check this out. We're going to go over a few more minor bullet points. Then we want to go through the partners. Look at this. The core challenge is that the industry ultimately needs clarity. Yes, it does. They need an environment which enables them to innovate comfortably under the supervision of a competent and respected regulator. Yes, they do. They need an environment that allows them to showcase what is possible with this technology and that the risks associated with cybersecurity custody and can be managed. Yes, it can. They need a place where they can drive comfort and understanding among global regulators and legislators that this technology is not something to be feared. Exactly right on the. I mean, it's amazing. What amazing statements. So, what does Bermuda want to do? Bermuda aims to provide the clarity with our currency standard initiative. Awesome. But again, okay. They want to adopt and regulate it based on a 1-to-1. So the stable coin is going to be 1-to-1 to the US dollar. It's really kind of a smart way of starting. They need stability. They have to use a stable coin. They can't use any of these other digital assets that are in wide swing fluctuations when it comes to the country's economy. But look, we'll turn Bermuda into a global innovation sandbox to advance the digitization and unbundling of traditional finance to drive increased access to financial services and act as a showcase model for other jurisdictions to copy. I love it. It's amazing. Look at this. It's just amazing. Again, they're going to invite foreign regulators and legislators to come and actually see it. But look at this. They want to come and witness what is possible and gain an understanding of how they can apply this technology and work with the private sector to increase financial inclusion and access in their own jurisdiction. It's huge, and some of this stuff I might be repeating again, but whatever. These statements are so amazing. Our combined hope is to showcase to the world that there is a clear path to providing regulatory clarity around this industry by focusing on the risks and to use Bermuda's small contained ecosystem as a place where foreign regulators and legislators can come to touch, see, feel, use, and ultimately understand the benefits of this revolutionary technology. I know I repeated that multiple times. Let's take a look at their partners. Take a look at who went in there. Circle, Coinbase, Binance, Trust Token, Hub Culture, Stably, Celsius, Salt, Maypay, Sablier, Stablehouse, and Consensus. Take a look at this. Circle, we know the future of investing. Coinbase, we know digital asset exchange. Binance, we know digital asset exchange. Trust Token, money built for the new global financial system, the first regulated stable coin fully backed by the US dollar. That's Trust Token. Hub Culture, amazing. Look at this. Collaborate in a virtual state. Join our mission to enhance collective consciousness via relationships, experience, and a new kind of money. Then we got Stably, stable US dollar. Then we've got Celsius for earning, borrow and pay on the blockchain. Then you have Salt, loans by crypto. All this stuff they're incorporating into Bermuda. MAPay or MAPay. We have something that will revolutionize healthcare payments and data exchange. That's interesting. And then we've got Sablier, earn your salary in real time, built on Ethereum. Then you got Stablehouse, a global digital currency clearinghouse for real-time cross-blockchain payments. I mean, it's really amazing. All these big companies, they have Consensus, Ethereum blockchain solutions. So we've got really, just really fantastic solutions here. Just really great partners that are coming to Bermuda to help and support them. I'm going to put some links in the video. You want to go check out that article and read it a little bit more in depth. I highly recommend reading it. This is definitely a test case. This is the sandbox. This is awe-inspiring because it's game-changing. Although we don't see any incorporation of some of the other digital asset yet in the environment, you see some major partners. That's what I want to talk to you guys about today. Stay tuned for more great things. This is Jeff, the HODL Review, right here on the chain. Go check out On the Chain.io. You can see us streaming on Cinnamon, and you're going to see this premiered on Cinnamon. Then it's going to drop on YouTube. You can check us out YouTube Live, where we do our live streams. Podcasts are launching soon. Blogs are launching soon. So much more is coming to On the Chain. Some great interviews and so many other great things in the pipeline. So went a little longer than I intended. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you enjoy what you're seeing. Again, this is Jeff with On the Chain. I'll check you out next time.